Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for watching this video. Instead of this weekend's webinar, just need to do this video for now, but I just wanted to get something out this week because we have a big week coming this week. A lot of market moving catalyst events are happening this week. FOMC, Jeremy Powell is speaking. We have GDP data coming out along with all this economic stuff. We also have huge names like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, QCOM, UPS, KO, Roku. All these big names are reporting earnings this coming week. So it's going to be very interesting. You can check the market watch for the economic calendar. And as you can see here, we are going to have all these events. Jeremy Powell is speaking to 30 on Wednesday. I believe GDP data is coming out on Thursday. PCE and core PCE price index are coming out on Friday. So a lot of things are going on this week, and all that along with the earnings from all these big companies that is coming out. So it will be interesting to see. A lot of volatility is to be expected because of all that. Probably this year's most busy week is going to be this coming next week. So please be careful with your trading, position sizing as well. If you don't respect the risk, you will end up on the losing side. But even if you win 9 out of 10 trades, you will lose big the 10th one. So make sure that your risk is contained and all the positions are according to your account size. Don't open too many positions, 1, 2. If you're fully confident, maybe 3 at a time. Like I always say, if you try to catch everything, you probably will end up catching nothing. So have a plan for each and every day. Focus on 1 or 2 names, take 1 or 2 trades, make sure that you manage those trades well, you manage your risk, and I promise you will come out like winning at the end of the week. But if you don't respect that, if you go in blindly, follow someone else blindly, don't have a plan in place, that will hurt your account. So please be careful. All right, going into next week, we saw a really nice run up last week and a half in SPY. As you can see, it bounced off of this 372 support level, which is where it bounced before as well during the last pullback. And it has found some resistance in this area, as you can see. And it ran right to this downtrending trend line, as you can see. On Friday, we saw some weakness where market pulled back. 50-day SMA is flattening out a little bit. 200 and 100-day SMA are still going lower. And with this volatility, anything can happen. So please be careful, especially if we break 390 going into Monday. Then we can see a huge pullback because, to be honest, there is no resistance that I see until 380. So be very, very careful, play the direction. On the other hand, if we manage to get over 400 right here, which is where it stopped on Friday, then we can see a bounce up towards 407 next, and then 411, 415, and 418 to 420 is going to be the next big resistance on the upside, which is where we failed last time. We're not out of the woods yet. As you can see, we are still in the downtrending channel. So if you plan to take any calls on the upside, be careful. As you can see, last week we were very, very careful in our calls play because personally, even though it made a huge run up, it has done it before. As you can see here, here, again here, it has done it multiple times, this kind of run up. So yes, you can trade with the trend and take calls, but that doesn't mean that we are in the bull market or there is a confirmation of direction change. We have a lot of ground to cover still, so be careful and watch these levels. Like I said, 390, 380, 388 may provide some support, as you can see here. It has done it before. Let me draw a support line. There you go, 387, 388 level. It has provided support before, so it could very well provide support, a little bit of support this time on the pullback. And on the upside, watch 400, big level. If it managed to get over that, then we can see it run up higher. QQQ also in the uptrending move right now. It does have this small sort of trend line right here, as you can see. So and 50-day SMA is flattening out. 200-day, 100-day SMA are still moving lower. But all QQQ also has a huge ground to cover going into next week. I would watch this 300 support level very, very closely. Break below that will be 293, which is also 50-day SMA support. 296 could provide a little bit of support because it has been providing a lot of resistance before. Double top right here at this level, which could act as a support this time around on the downside. So this two level, 296 and 293, break below that, and we can see it test this trend line right here. Break below that, it can start to push lower. But for most part, this is my personal belief, for most part, because most of the tech is down 60, 70, 80, 90%, the bottom for most part is either in or we are very, very close. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to start taking position on equity side in the tech names that you are interested in. On the option side, still we just need to take shorter expiration, especially with everything that's going on. Next week's earnings will also make a lot of things clear as to where we stand, and also with the outlook for the next quarter from all this company, it will tell us what kind of business they are expecting and what kind of effect the inflation is having on all this stuff, on the business of all these companies, the big tech companies. A lot of companies are slowing hiring. So my prediction is that it's not as good as a lot of people are hoping for. But if you see last week's earning, as long as it's not as bad as we thought, names are running, right? If it's as bad as we thought, then everything is tanking. If it's slightly better, in terms of, okay, if, for example, let's take Netflix, the people were expecting 2 million subscriber loss. Instead, it came down as 1 million subscriber loss. That's what I mean by not as bad as we thought, but it's still bad. But market is taking it as a good sign. So Netflix ran up big. Same thing happened with Tesla, whereas Snap, it was as bad as we thought. So Snap tanked. So now it's more about how bad it is. It's not about is it bad or is it good. It's about how bad it is. So based on that, it will determine which direction all these names will go into, and also the outlook. We were quarter company like Snap declined to give an outlook for next quarter. That's a very bad sign. That means that they have no idea how this inflation and recession is going to affect their business. That being said, keep an eye on it. All these levels that I'm mentioning right now, um, for QQQ and SPYs, for most part, is still valid. So 301 is where we are right now. The next resistance is at 308. Over that, it will be the 100-day SMA at 315. And then the next big one will be at 328. Plus a smaller level here, which will be posted during the morning watch list and whatnot. But those are the big levels that you need to keep an eye on. All the other names we can discuss, but keep in mind that all this usual name that we trade day in, day out are reporting earning. So that will change the landscape very, 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 very quickly. So if I, like, for example, I say, okay, 129 a huge resistance for Amazon because that is where it failed before, or 102 is a strong support for Amazon because this is where it's been bouncing for pretty much since the first time it tested that level in May. It hasn't given back, like it hasn't broken below that level since May. We are at the end of July, so that's a lot of support that it has provided again and again and again and again. Same thing with the resistance. Since May, it hasn't been able to break over this 126.25 level. It tried but failed on the same day. But that being said, if Amazon's earnings is good, it can run up to 135, no problem. That is where it's going to have the huge next resistance. 126 first, and then 129.50, and then 136. Those are the big levels on the upside. But again, if it's a huge earning beat or much, much better than we thought it would be, then it can just fly. And it can cross all this level like a knife in a butters. And same thing on the downside, like the strong support levels are going to be 118, 115.50, somewhat at 113 because our 50-day SMA, which is start to curl back up, is over there. 100-day, 200-day still going down. But like I said, again, earnings will change everything. This level won't matter. So this is before earnings level. After earning, we may have new levels to discuss, and we'll post about it in our daily watch list. Google, why are my levels? Oh yeah, it's because it broke down. Anyway, for Google, on the downside, strong support is right here at the level 105.50. Below that, next one is 102.50. Some resistance in this area, as you can see, right here at 109. After that, it will be right here at 112, 115, 119, and 123. Those are the level for upside and downside. Break below 102.50. That's an unknown area. Not really sure how far we would go. But the next huge support from before is at this level right here at 99.65, and then 96 and 19.1. So those are the level you need to watch in Google. Like I said, again, pre-market. These levels are pre-earning levels. After earnings, a lot will change, so keep that in mind. but I'm just drawing it so you can take a note of these levels for earning day play, because this big levels will provide support and resistance once the earnings are reported, and then the following day when the trading start, these are the levels that will matter. So if it opens at say 131 or say 122 or 119, then immediate support on the downside will be 115. So it doesn't matter where it opens, these are the levels that will matter after it opens. Shop, for most part, I'm going to avoid it. There is not much for us to do in shop. Right now, it's been moving pretty much sideways. It's been running into resistance in this 40 area and failing. So some support can be at 35, break below that, we can go back to 30. So it's been moving in this $10 range for quite some time, pretty much since, again, May. Apple also reporting earnings. Once it started going, it has reclaimed this level that we have seen before. It was holding. It's back above 100-day SMA. Apple has been strong, and I would be very, very surprised if Apple reports bad earnings. Yes, it will be affected by the recession and whatnot, but I would be surprised if Apple reports bad earning. So keep an eye on this level right here. So right now it's at 153 on the upside. The next big resistance is this 200-day SMA at 158. Break over that, and we can see it actually move higher, and I would not be surprised. But as you can see, this trend line right here is very, very steep. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pullback to this trend line. On the downside, this trend line will provide support, break below the trend line. I will be the 50-day SMA that will provide supports near 144 area, so 10 points down. Now, Apple is also reporting earnings, so anything could happen. Keep that in mind. Netflix starts to break higher. Could be an interesting play going into tomorrow, but all eyes is going to be on these other names that are reporting earnings. But if Netflix continue to move, the next resistance level is going to be right here at 230. Over that, 249. No big resistance area before that, and the support area is at 205. So if I were to play Netflix, I would play around this level. Meta also reporting earning. We haven't really traded it in a while, so as you can see, the range is not that great for it after this huge drop, where it dropped from like almost 380. Now we are at like 155. Meta is almost expected to report bad earnings because of the metaverse. Also, they announced that they will not be taking any commission from advertiser and people selling stuff to promote growth of the platform. So that also affect their business. So I would be very surprised if Meta reports good earning or earning beat. But again, is it better than expected? It might fly. You never know. So we'll keep that in mind. At most, I will only touch this after the fact, not before. NVIDIA also in a downtrending trend line, as you can see, on monthly as well as on daily. It's still trending down. It is over 50-day SMA, which is a good sign. So that level at 167.50 could provide good support for NVIDIA. On the upside, 185 is the next level for it to beat right here. break below this trend line, I mean this 50-day SMA, and we can see it start to pull back towards 153 level. So keep an eye on it. Avoid snap for now, not much for us to do there. Twilio, same story. Avoid it for now. Crowd is the name that we usually trade. It is right at the 100-day SMA, as you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more. But most of those are like pretty much flatten out. So it will be interesting to see. The next support for crowd is at 195, and then over that it will be at 200. On the downside, 176, and then 167 would be the support on the downside. Beside that, another name that is reporting earnings, huge name, Microsoft. It's been struggling lately, but on good day, Microsoft can run big time, and the calls are cheap, so that's a bonus. On the upside, 265 has been providing a lot of resistance for past 3 days, and so that will be the level for us to watch this week. Break above that, it will be 270. And break over that 276, 281 on the downside. Because it is a right 50-day SMA, it will be interesting to see if it breaks below 258. If it does, then 254.50 and then 250 would be the support area on the downside. Break below that, we can see it go to 241. Again, this is all pre-earnings. After earnings, anything can happen. So keep that in mind if you are trading this week. A lot of other names could be interesting. Snow almost touched 161 on Friday, closed at 242. That's a huge drop. Support is at 138, 139. Pretty much for 50-day SMA, which is right here. 140 is the next support on the downside based on level, which is right at the 50-day SMA as well. As you can see, break below that, 126, and these are the big support on the downside. If it managed to get over this level, which is also a huge support level from before, as you can see, which is where it's been failing for quite some time, then it can start to move on the upside. What I would do for Snow is I would wait for it to get to 125, 126 to play any call position. Break below 50-day SMA, puts can work on the downside. Everyone's favorite, Tesla. On earnings, it's almost touched 845. Went over this 100-day SMA here, pulled back. It will be interesting to see where it goes this week. 800 obviously is going to provide a lot of support. Break below that, it will be 780 and 770, 765, 770, that area could provide a lot of support. On the upside, 842, 845 area is going to provide a lot of resistance. Break over that, 855, 872, 890, and 909, which is where the 200-day SMA is. Break over that, and sky is the limit. So keep an eye on that. I don't think it's going to go all the way over there this week, but anything happened with Tesla, as you all know. So keep your eyes open. That's it. Those are the only name I wanted to talk to you guys today. If I missed anything, please feel free to drop a DM or post it in the Trooper stock, and just say, can you please post a chart for this name or that name? I'd be more happy to do that as soon as I can. As you all know, I have some personal stuff going on, so I may or may not be available as much this week, but I will try my best to help you guys out and provide as much guidance as possible. Thank you again for watching this video. Really appreciate it, and hope you guys have a great week ahead and make a lot of money. All right, have a good day.